10 News begins with breaking news.
Take a look. You can see smoke from a brush fire in Golden Hill that people all the way in the Far East County could see. I'm Virginia Cha.
And I'm Brian Schlonsky in for Jason this morning. 10 News reporter Melissa Masiha is live for us in Golden Hill. And Mel, firefighters, some good news here, already have a handle on this fire.
Yeah, Virginia and Brian, fortunately everyone is safe, but it got very close to a nearby school and church. I want to show you exactly just how close. So the fire started in this area right here, the brush just right off the 94, a few feet away. Check that out. This is New Life Church. Firefighters say fortunately they were able to stop the spread of the fire before it got too far. But I want to show you again this thick black smoke. That smoke could be seen for miles. This fire started around 9:40 this morning, burned about a quarter acre. 4 engines and a water tanker rushed onto the scene here. More than a dozen firefighters put this fire out. So again, a nearby church, it's the New Life Church and preschool. They are right next door. Fortunately, the kids evacuated. They are all safe. Neighbors say they are pretty lucky that this did not spread.
Well, my dad came in running to the shower and he's like, "Hey, there's fire, get out." So I got out and he said the fire got to like the highest point of the trees. Up to that point, like if it would have if there was wind, it could have caught like really bad.
Unfortunately, in this location, the winds are not bad right now. But again, we are in a red flag warning, so all of us should use extra precaution. We do want to emphasize that all the kids, fortunately, are okay. Some of their parents did come, though, to pick them up early. I'm Melissa Masiha reporting live in Golden Hill. Back to you.
Well, they're okay. Thank you, Mel. Of course, weather is a major fire issue at the start of this week. We have team coverage from the sizzling hot temperatures shutting down schools to the high wind in the mountains.
Yeah, let's first get to meteorologist Megan Perry with the watches and warnings in effect right now.
I mean, you could just see Mary there, the wind just blowing. She's in Alpine. In fact, winds very strong. They're one of the windiest spots in the county right now, in fact. And we are in a heat wave. All these warnings in effect for Southern California. I'm going to break them down individually because you can't even see all of them because they overlap each other. So this is the red flag warning. It's in effect until 6 p.m. Wednesday. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, but a few spots could reach up to 65 miles per hour. But those are areas that typically a lot of people don't live. And humidity is going to be down into the single digits each afternoon. This excessive heat warning, this is for the coast and valleys because of how hot it's going to be in the 90s and triple digits. And then the wind advisory also indicating those stronger winds. This is in our valleys and our mountains, and you can see the red arrows, how quickly they're whipping through our mountains and foothills right now. Very strong winds. In fact, Sill Hill, which is one of our typically windier spots, gusting up to 57 miles per hour already. Temperatures in the 90s for many spots, 97 degrees right now in Ramona. I'm going to be tracking the building winds and dropping humidity over the next few days when I come back with your full forecast. Virginia?
Thank you, Megan. The scorching temperatures are forcing school districts to change plans to protect students. San Diego Unified calling for minimum days as dozens of its schools because there's little to no air conditioning. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live in Pacific Beach. Laura, it can get stifling in classrooms with no AC.
It really can, Virginia. Good morning. Now, this school here, Pacific Beach Middle School, only has 2 classrooms with AC, and I want to show you what they're doing to stay cool. They are being forced to prop these windows open, hoping that a breeze will come through that classroom to keep them cool. I did talk to the principal out here. She says they've measured the temperatures inside. At some points, it's been up to 98 degrees. The district announced a hot weather plan at nearly 100 campuses. In addition to getting out early, the principal tells me the students will do classwork for PE. Some teachers are moving their classrooms to air-conditioned portions of the school. These half-days are for schools that don't have air conditioning or only partial AC when the temperature is forecasted for 95 degrees or higher. Although district officials made the decision yesterday and sent out a phone call and an email, several parents told me they had no idea about the early day, forcing them to make last-minute after-school arrangements.
Also, a lot of us have work, and so my kid stays here until 6 o'clock anyway. We all have to work when it's hot too, and I don't just work out inside, I'm outside too, so I think it's just part of the ways we teach our kids. I think we could still manage to have them stay.
Back out here live, you can see the second-story windows are also propped open, again, hoping for some breeze to stay cool. Now, district officials say they are going to consider a half day for tomorrow since the temperatures are going to be very similar. They will be letting parents know today if they make that decision for tomorrow. Reporting live in Pacific Beach, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
We will watch for that. Thank you, Laura. Another major weather concern right now, the wind. You heard Megan say it earlier. There are gusts as high as 45 miles per hour in some areas. We continue our team coverage with 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie. She is live for us in Alpine. And Mary, hold on to that hat. Looks like you're feeling some of those gusty Santa Anas right now.
Yeah, Brian, another one is just coming up right now. In between the gusts, it's fairly calm out here, but you can see the wind is whipping around up here in Alpine, blowing the trees and the brush behind us. We just had a woman stop moments ago. She was driving an RV. She was worried about driving in these conditions, and she asked if there was another way for her to get to Arizona, saying this was scarier than driving in snow in Idaho. So you can see in this video too, the winds whipping in Alpine, gusting into the 40-mile-per-hour range. That means drivers may have to plant two hands on the wheel on the pass over I-8 and 2 feet on the ground everywhere else. The hot, dry, windy conditions, they are particularly dicey for these high-profile vehicles, especially if you aren't used to it.
You just have to slow down. You just grab on tight and, you know, you feel it. Yeah. As you drive, you learn your vehicle, and you can feel what you can do and what you can't.
And because the risk with Santa Ana conditions is so great, the fire risk, that is, CAL FIRE has activated their reserve firefighters. They've staffed extra strike teams around the county. They've also stationed 2 more air tankers down at Brown Field. They have about 100 extra people working today. San Diego Fire also upping their staffing along with Cleveland National Forest crews. So the fire danger, you know, as we know from so many of these experiences, it does not take much out here with these Santa Ana winds. So you see another high-profile vehicle. We just had another one pull in the parking lot here where we are live in Alpine this morning. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
All right, thank you, Mary. Meanwhile, thousands of East County students didn't have to go to class today, and it was not because of the heat. A water main broke near Valhalla High School. This was earlier today. At this point, not immediately clear where or when the pipe broke, but the campus was without water this morning. Now the question is whether athletic teams will hold their scheduled practices and games. They should have a decision by noon.
Right now, there is a manhunt for a gunman in the South Bay. Officers shut down East Palomar Street at Montserrat Avenue in Chula Vista with crime tape while they search for the shooter as well as for evidence. Police believe the whole thing started as a possible carjacking. Police say a man walked up to the side of the Jeep, you see them opening the hatch there, and started firing. Neighbors saw the victim bleeding. Walking down the street, they called police. That man, by the way, taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his thigh. Crews are clearing the wreckage after a crash in Linda Vista. Sky 10 was over that crash site on the southbound side of 163 near Genesee Avenue. A truck flew off the freeway, rolled down that embankment. You can see it hit a tree and did a real job. It was mangled right on the beginning. See what happened to the tree? The driver has some major injuries, had to be rushed to the hospital. Another car involved was off to the side. It is not clear if anyone in that car was hurt.
Gotta hope that other driver is all right. More homeless people, meanwhile, who sleep in their cars at night will have a safe place to park tonight. Last week, the city of San Diego announced a partnership with Dreams for Change. If you'll remember, we first shared with you the nonprofit's mission on 10 News in August. It's about more than just finding a place to sleep.
It's an unfortunate event, but here we are.
We're a local nonprofit here in San Diego that works with around homelessness and homeless prevention type services. So our goal is to really build upon the asset of their car that they're staying in and to stabilize them and move them forward into housing.
So many families impacted. You see children there as well. This partnership will open up 60 spots in a city-owned lot in Kearny Mesa. Another 20 spaces will be added to the Dreams for Change parking program. That program already in place at the Jewish Family Service of San Diego. Also, in response to the hepatitis A outbreak, the city opened a camping area for the homeless. That was earlier this month. We are told that more camping areas should be open by early Thanksgiving.
San Diego police officers will be getting big raises. Last week, the city announced a deal to hike salaries 25% to 30% by 2020. Well, in about an hour, Mayor Faulkner, Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman, and the police union president will hold a news conference in Kearny Mesa to talk about a new 2-year contract authorizing several pay raises. Those raises will make it easier now to keep San Diego police officers from leaving and to recruit new officers. The department currently has 240 openings.
A fallen hero laid to rest. What we now know about the shootout that took this officer's life.
We have an update on the plane crash that sparked a brush fire near Alpine over the weekend. Now let's find out what's going on with traffic with CHP officer Tommy Dorr. Hey, Tommy.
Hi, good morning. We are still dealing with some backup westbound on the 52 near Mass Boulevard. We had an accident earlier this morning that resulted in a diesel spill. Just got word less than 10 minutes ago that they have reopened all the traffic lanes, so traffic should be cleared out here shortly. And as we take a live look on the 56 right now, you are all clear between Rancho Penasquitos and Carmel Valley. Remember, no texting while driving. I'm Officer Tommy Dorr with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
Friends, family, and police gathered to remember an Ohio officer killed in the line of duty.
He was a wonderful guy. He made everybody smile. He was proud of his community, lived here all his life, and we just loved him.
Girard police officer Justin Leo was shot and killed late Saturday night after responding to what police are calling a domestic incident. His partner returned fire, killing the gunman. Last night was all about remembering and honoring Officer Leo.
Hurts really bad because, you know, there's a lot of people in this community he meant a lot to, and great people, great family, and our hearts go out to him.
Officers from departments all around the area were there to honor their brother in blue.
What a turnout there in Ohio. Happening today, the trial will begin for a man accused of a murder in the Bay Area that added to the immigration debate across the country. Kate Steinle was shot and killed more than 2 years ago while walking with her dad in San Francisco. Her accused killer is an undocumented immigrant. He had been deported multiple times and had been released from jail just weeks prior to the murder. But San Francisco's sanctuary city law meant that the sheriff didn't have to notify immigration officials. The judge is encouraging the jurors not to focus on the politics here, but whether or not the shooting was intentional.
We have some new video this midday. This is from over the plane crash site. That crash sparked a brush fire near Alpine on Saturday. The plane crashed into a hillside east of the El Capitan Reservoir. Records show this was an acrobatic plane registered to a company in Henderson, Nevada. The NTSB is now working to identify human remains recovered from where that plane crashed.